Good morning, hockey fans. This is Stephen Heisler with HeisHockey.com, the Victorious Hockey Company, and the Junior Hockey Discussion Group on Facebook. You are watching the Junior Hockey Morning Show. I am on the World Sports Broadcasting Network, WSBN.TV, Facebook, X, YouTube, wherever you are this morning. Hope you are enjoying your day. Hope you enjoyed your weekend. A lot going on in the game this morning. A lot going on in the game in the next 3 weeks as we prepare to enter into the 24-25 hockey season. All right. What are the best leagues? Get this call every year when the other guy begins yapping about ranking the junior hockey leagues. The problem with his rankings is that it's entirely one-dimensional. It's based on one criteria or minimal criteria, but the issue is it's not right or it's not very thoughtful to say that every square peg is going to fit into a round hole. What is the best league really depends on what are the exact needs of the individual player. That's where it is. And what best league is for him depends on what he's going to do academically, where he is at in the game, what his level of maturity is at, where his level of social interaction with people is at. You know, is he a kid that is quiet? Is he a kid that has the maturation to avoid situations that are maybe not the best for an up-and-coming developing hockey player? There are way too many round pegs in comparison to square holes. It's impossible to rank leagues in this fashion. The only criteria that makes sense is what is the absolute best developmental opportunity for each individual player. The path to Division I hockey is different. The path to Division I hockey is different than Division III and ACHA. That's all there is to it. So, as an advisory company, I try to identify players with exceptional character, players that have good academic numbers long before what we think of them as a hockey player. If you don't have the academics and the character, I can't help you with the hockey. I'm also interested in knowing what the player's vocational pursuits are. If he's going to be, wanting to study gender studies, I'm probably not the guy for him. The last thing I want to do, as a dad, I have 4 kids that I know of. Could be more. I got doggies. Those don't count. So, the last thing I want to do is let one of our clients get into college with no way to pay for it and no way to get out of debt. I don't want our players begging for student loan forgiveness 20 years from now. That doesn't make any sense. So long before we accept them as a client, I want to know what they are thinking about vocationally and what is the plan to cover the student loan debt. If mom and dad won the lottery, awesome. I ain't got to worry about it. But the fact is, most American families and most Canadian families are not in that situation. Most of us are regular people, and debt is real. So the last thing that we want to do is hurt our kids. There's a lot of factors that come into play. We talk about placement on the junior teams. Geography plays a part of that. Maturation, where the prospect is as a player. Those often will help determine our scope of destination options. What others fail to mention is the hard data associated with the number of actual games played at the NCAA Division I level. Before you blink, don't get mad at me. Don't call. Don't send hate mail. But if you are not playing in the USHL the BCHL or somewhat the North American Hockey League, you probably are not going to play Division I hockey. And there's kids here and there that'll scatter. You'll get a few more Canadian kids jumping in there. You might get some kids from Europe jumping in there. But 85% of all games played are being played by kids from those three leagues. That's a hard fact. So what if you are starting out your junior career and you're not in one of those three leagues? You better be on a plan to reach that level of play quickly. So your first year of junior hockey after high school or after AAA, and you're having to play in one of the lesser leagues, what league you go to, what league we suggest that you go to, often depends on how deep you go into these camps. So if you're in a North American Hockey League main camp, that's not your ticket to the NAHL. You got to go there first, advance to training camp. Does that mean you're in? No. You have to play at least a season and a half in those leagues. So say you get on the North American Hockey League roster and you get gassed after the showcase in September. Doesn't mean you're a bad player. That means that we probably have to look at opportunities for you that make the most sense where you're going to play the most. Now, because you played a few games in the showcase, those NA teams like to try to toss you back to the North American 3 Hockey League. And for most of you, that's probably okay because it means you're going to get an opportunity to go back, maybe even course of during the season. If you're in the top 30 going into the showcase, you're probably in the top 35 coming out unless you just really piss them off. If that happens, that you need another year of development, go play in the 3HL. If they say that, you probably need to go to Canada. The problem is it's going to require an international transfer. If you get a shot or an opportunity to come back to the United States, it's going to require another international transfer. Yes, it's money. It's not catastrophic, but there's that situation. So where we kind of aim you at really depends on where you are as a player. All right, Tommy? So clearly USHL, NEHL, BCHL are the top leagues. That we know that. So what if you're not making one of those top leagues? Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Canadian Junior A leagues, BC Junior A leagues. They're good first steps after AAA in high school. But if you're not, you make sure you have enough room to get back to one of the top 3 leagues for the last year and a half, or just focus on Division III. The USPHL's NCDC division has done a really good job of getting kids to NCAA hockey. Most of those kids are going to the D3 level. Some kids go Division I, but when it's all said and done, most of those kids would probably have been better off playing D3. They would have got a lot more ice time. I love how the Eastern Hockey League has been focused primarily at NCAA Division III. That's ongoing and doing a good job. As far as the rest of the Canadian Junior B leagues, the NA3HL, the USPHL, I don't really see much of an advantage one has over the other. The NA3 has a bit of an advantage if you're trying to go back to the North American Hockey League. It's a little easier to get there from the NA3 than it is from a non-sanctioned league or a Canadian league. So there's that. Tell me to scroll down. Last thing I want to say this morning. Tommy, you can help me here. There are good and bad operators in every league. Every league. For the North American Hockey League, BCHL had a few turds in the bucket in the past. Alberta League's got some turds. Every league has a few turds. That's all there is to it. Nobody's perfect. Even in the NAHL this year, we have some new operators that are very questionable. But here we are. So as the season approaches, some players will realize that putting all your eggs in one basket wasn't the best move. If that's your situation, don't try to go into this upcoming season negotiating a place for yourself on your own. you're going to get taken. Get some help. If you don't hire me, hire another reputable advisor out there. There's more than one of us, and we'll help you. If you need some help, feel free to call me. You can find my number on highsake.com, Victoria's Hockey Company. Where else, Tommy? That's it. All right, folks. Great Monday. A lot going on. Not the end of the world. Until tomorrow, hope that you enjoy your morning coffee and have a great day in hockey.